Contentment is the highest form of wealth. Once upon a time, in a bustling village nestled between green hills, lived a man named Arjun. Arjun was known far and wide for his skills as a potter. His pots were perfect, each one a masterpiece of craftsmanship. But despite his talent, Arjun was never satisfied. His mind was always restless, comparing his life to that of others. One day, after selling his pots in the marketplace, Arjun noticed a merchant arriving in the village with a cart full of vibrant, colorful fabrics. The merchant was surrounded by admirers, and Arjun's heart sank as he thought, "Why do I only create pots? If I could sell beautiful fabrics, perhaps I would be happier." That night, Arjun tossed and turned in his bed, unable to sleep. His mind was consumed by thoughts of wealth, luxury, and the things he did not have. His dissatisfaction grew, and with it, his peace of mind slipped further away. The next morning, as Arjun walked through the forest to collect clay, he came across an elderly monk meditating under a tree. The monk had a serene smile on his face, despite wearing nothing more than simple robes and living with nothing but a small bowl by his side. Intrigued, Arjun approached him and asked, "Holy One, how can you be so content with so little?" The monk opened his eyes and said, "My son, I have everything I need because I have embraced Santosha, contentment. Contentment is not about having everything. It's about being happy with what you have." Arjun was puzzled. But how can I be content when others have more than me? How can I accept my circumstances as they are? The monk smiled and began to share a story. Long ago, there was a king who was always discontent, no matter how much he had. He traveled the world in search of happiness, but never found it. One day, he met a sage who told him, "Your discontent comes from within. You must accept what you have with gratitude and stop yearning for what you do not possess." The king was reluctant, but he began to practice contentment by appreciating the small things in life: the sunrise, the laughter of his children, the taste of simple food. Slowly, his heart filled with peace, and he realized that true wealth is not in possessions, but in a contented mind. Arjun listened intently, the words of the monk resonating deeply within him. The monk continued, "Santosha is about accepting your life as it is, without comparison or envy. It's about recognizing that your journey is unique, and that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. When you practice Santosha, you free yourself from the chains of desire and discontent. You learn to find joy in the present moment, and this joy becomes the foundation for a peaceful and fulfilled life." Inspired by the monk's wisdom, Arjun decided to practice Santosha in his own life. He started by focusing on the beauty of his own craft, appreciating the simple joy of molding clay into something useful. Instead of envying the merchant's wealth, he admired the merchant's skills and recognized that each person has their own path. He began to express gratitude for the things he had: a loving family, good health, and the ability to create art with his hands. Over time, Arjun's heart grew light, and his mind settled into a state of peace. His work improved, not because he was striving for perfection, but because he poured his contentment into every piece he crafted. People began to notice the change in Arjun. His pots seemed even more beautiful, radiating the joy and peace he felt inside. Arjun realized that by accepting his circumstances, he had found a treasure far greater than gold or silk, the treasure of a contented heart. Moral: true contentment lies not in acquiring more, but in appreciating what we already have. When we practice Santosha, we cultivate a mindset of peace, acceptance, and gratitude, which leads to a fulfilled and joyful life.